From 18-hour shifts to at-home mask maker. It was just another night of work at the local assisted living home. Leticia, CNA, is responsible for feeding, bathing, medicating, and putting to bed 10 clients who reside at Sunny Home. The day began as March 22nd and ends in a way that changes Leticia's life forever. Leticia considers her job much more than a caregiver. The long hours spent caring for residents makes her feel like an extended family, as she knows how each resident prefers their eggs in the morning to their favorite television shows, as well as all their family members' names as they walk through the doors at Sunny Hill Assisted Living Homes. This is going to be just another 18-hour shift, but when the early morning rounds began, she also found out it was going to be a day of bad news. Leticia's manager texted her to let her know that due to the COVID-19 virus, the unit would be shutting down its doors to visitors indefinitely starting the next morning. This message caused a ball to well up in Leticia's stomach. Visitors and guests meant the world to her residents as they brought their company and their gifts. Leticia felt a premonition that this would affect more than the residents. What is going to happen with my work schedule, she thought, with a nagging feeling that the pandemic would cause her to lose her job. At 5 a.m., many of the residents were getting up, preparing for their day and their morning showers. An urgent warning of the COVID-19 virus was spotlighted over the morning news. Leticia knew that it wouldn't be long before her residents would notice the effects of COVID-19, as they would feel the adverse effect of losing their regular weekly company. After Leticia fed the residents breakfast, she felt the need to let them know that management was calling for a change of rules and that visitors and guests would not be allowed on the unit for the time being. She watched as she saw their faces turn from concern to distress. One of her favorite residents, Thomas, immediately began to cry. He looked at Leticia and asked if his daughter would still be able to come visit him every week. I didn't even know how to reply, expressed Leticia, but I stayed calm and replied we'll have to wait and see, even though she knew that the quarantine would leave many residents feeling extra lonely. The rest of the work left for the morning mixed with the devastating news felt burdensome. Leticia felt ready for an emotional meltdown, but instead she put on a smile and pretended there was nothing wrong. I wanted to make everything right for the residents. I put on a happy face and continued and giving 100% even though I felt my world crashing around me. Leticia's role as CNA exercises what is known as emotional labor, which is defined by Tracy J. Tracy as both the use and the suppression of emotion in the workplace, a role that she would have to exercise until the end of her workday and around the time she received a call from management. Before the day was over, her boss called to let her know that due to COVID-19, work was being repositioned and that this would be her last day working at Sunny Hill. Like so many people, Leticia applied for unemployment during the spring of 2020 and also received money from the CARES Act and for several months. And for these extra funds helped Leticia come up with a new idea for creating a supplemental income for her family. Her previous experience making clothes with a sewing machine created the idea to make cloth face masks. I knew I could sell these masks to the CNA community, and I already knew people online who wanted to buy masks. It took about 5 hours a day to make masks with a sewing machine, and with less time at work, she also found that she could spend more time with family. My daughter helped me organize my sewing area, and then she would package masks after they were made. It turns out my daughter and I are a really good team. The first 40 masks were sold to Sunny Hill. It felt super amazing to leave my job on good terms and sell them something they needed and I made. With referrals and marketing her mask on social media, Leticia created a mask business that really paid the bills. Most of her time can be spent with family. Instead of dividing time between residents and stressing about giving the meds on time, she can now sit back and watch TV with her mother in the morning and make life better each day at the family home. Instead of making breakfast for 10 people, I'm now only responsible for myself, my mother, and daughter. It's a win-win. We can learn a lot from Leticia. Even though she lost her job, she found a new life as an entrepreneur and spends time with the people she loves the most, her family. Also, she learned that 18-hour shifts are not always necessary to pay the bills. The end.